Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I have some pictures from our trip to Peru. They were just our alpaca wool purchases. I got a sweater and my husband got these fuzzy slippers. So I wanted to add that to my Peru scrapbook. Now I'm trying to make it similar to my last layout, just because they're from, the same alpaca farm. They kind of go together, but they're not the exact same thing, so I didn't want them to be like a double layout. So this is another piece of paper from Amy Tangerine's Late Afternoon collection. I think it is my last one, which is sad. And I'm using the same orange paper with the little cameras. I'm using it as a photo mat this time, just so it's like a little nod to the other layout rather than, again, trying to make it a double page spread. So I've got it here. I also have the brown, again, from the other layout. I'm putting it down. I'm not overlapping my photos this time. There are only two, which usually I like to, cluster them together, and, this time I just wasn't feeling it. So they're not. I have it here and I want to do some mixed media in the background. I mark off where I want my photos to be, and then I get out my Watercolor Creams from Bria Reese. These are a new Tuesday morning find for me, so I'm still kind of experimenting with them. As I understand it, they're similar to the Vicky Bouton crayons, but I haven't used those, so I'm not 100% sure, but they are reactive with water and act like watercolors, which is pretty neat. So I add some orange in the background and the pattern of the paper shines through, which is exactly what I wanted. And then I try to do a little brown like splatter bits, and they do not really show up very well. I'm not sure if I watered it down too much or if that's not the best use of these watercolor creams. It may not be. Or I may have done it wrong. Like I said, they're still pretty new, so I haven't done a whole lot with them. But that's okay. I do plenty of other things to my layout to make it, well, in my opinion, nice. So I am going to do some heat embossing. You can see I've got my Versamark ink pad and some embossing tinsel, as it is called, because it is glittery. And I wipe down the area with my homemade little anti-static bag. It just has cornstarch in it, and most of the anti-static tools are cornstarch or baby powder, so why not make one at home? But as I'm getting this done, I decide that I really want to have my title and my journaling down before I get my heat embossing going. So I put that to the side and start working on a title, and then get kind of stuck. So I start working on embellishing, and I have a little sweater sticker. So of course it had to go by the sweater, my new sweater picture, And I also have this chipboard tag that I think the colors just coordinate well. Back to the title that I'm trying to make. I decided to make the title Woolen Goods, and at first it was like really painful because I don't want to use 4 O's in one title. That is seems silly. But these thickers I actually have 3 packs of, and on my very first pack that is running low, I still have all 4 Q's, and it's, obviously an O with just the little stick. So I cut off the little sticks, and I'm able to spell out my word without it being, too using up too many letters. So Woolen Goods is my title because we got goods made of alpaca wool from the alpaca farm. And I think that is nice and appropriate. Now, I put them on this orange background because really on the kind of red stripe of the main page, they really just got lost. They're busy thickers. They look like, a map, like a kind of an old map. And it was just too much, I thought, to put it directly on the page. So I put them on the orange paper, and then I inked up the edge with my ground espresso distress oxide, just to again, help it stand out a little more. And for my final attempt to make it stand out, I use the branding strip, which is a nice, red kind of leopard print, which I like a whole lot. That's actually, what's on the back, which was a little sad to, not use that. But I've actually had another piece of paper, use that one before, so it's okay. It's how it goes. But I like how my title is. I do wish that I had left room to put little gold staples on the side. I think that would have looked nice. But I did not leave enough room for it, and you know what? That's okay. It happens. So at this point, I'm trying to figure out journaling. I don't have a whole lot to say about this other than, we got these, items, some alpaca slippers and alpaca sweater. So I decided to use one of these little tags from, this is also Amy Tangerine, but it's actually from Brave and Bold. But I think the colors work, and I think it works well, so I go for it. It is a very, very thin sticker, so I did put it on just like a little cardboard piece. Actually, it was like the backing of some kind of packaging that I had. And I just put the sticker on there, and then it becomes, much more sturdy, and I'm able to kind of pop it up with that chipboard tag. Now, the tag is very similar in color to the journaling tag, so I will have to take care of that in just a moment. And I also use washi. This is, again, like a map printed washi, which I think is kind of like a nod to the title, but bringing it down lower. And then it also just creates, I think, a nicer divide between the solid color cardstock and then my printed paper. So you can see I'm kind of inking up the edges with my Distress Oxide fired brick. Now I use a little too much in some places, but it just kind of softens the color and makes it so that the journaling tag and the chipboard tag don't look so similar. But I think they nestle well together now. And I use a couple sparkly red brads to fill in the little tag holes. Now I am using just a push pin actually to create the holes. And most of the time that works really well. I have a crocodile, which is a fantastic tool, but I don't feel like I really even need to use that for brads. Just the little push pin works fine. So now I'm finally doing some of my heat embossing, and I'm using, again, from Amy Tangerine, but this time Brave and Bold. I'm using the little stamp set, and this is like the kind of jaguar or leopard print. It's a pretty small stamp, but I think it's meant for you to, turn it and make a kind of like a cluster of those same stamped images over and over. And I've done this before, I believe in another video as well. I just really like how it turns out, and I think it looks really nice with this kind of orange embossing tinsel, which I really had no thought to really use when I first bought it. It was on clearance. Like, when in the world am I ever going to use sparkly orange? I thought, maybe for Halloween or something. I've actually used it quite a bit. It seems to coordinate with fall kind of things very well, so I'm definitely happy I have it. Now, you can see I've got to re-stick my sticker. Thankfully, when I'm working, I'm rarely, setting things down permanently and really squishing, things down or adhering things really well, unless I know that that is where I want it to be. And thankfully for these, I was able to pick them up and move them around because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted it. But now I like where it is, and I'm clustering it together with a few stickers from the Late Afternoon sticker book and a few from Paige Evans' Bungalow Lane, which I think really is a great fall collection. I'm enjoying using it quite a bit. So after I finish with my stickers, I know that I need to do a little something more. So I get out my Crayola thin markers and use the brown one to do a doodly border. And then I take out my Bria Rees, it's like I guess a watercolor pen, but it's got like a sparkly gold in it. And it makes a nice little gold sparkly addition to my doodly border here, which it's very thin and hard to see, but if you're up close you can see the extra sparkle, so I like it. And that right there will finish up my layout. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.